Well, this is a wonderful day. It's really a day that's we get to celebrate with someone that we have known and grown to love and appreciate more and more. You know, for many of us who've been here for a little while, you know, we've seen how the department has changed. The internal culture of the department has changed over time. And for better or for worse, always within it though, we've had some very special people. Special people that added a degree of characterization and perhaps color to our organization. And in this case, I get to say that I've got some significant, wonderful memories of Randy. Most of them at the balloon event, and a few of them out in the woods, not so far from the airport. But all of them reflected a man that was both generous and kind, who always had his head and his heart connected. And I think when you look at someone like that, that's full of empathy and compassion, was able to see through sometimes the hate and the trauma that we're so surrounded by daily in the work that we do, and it's awfully angular sometimes. It's people like that, there's something special, they're grounded differently. And I think it's because he was married to somebody, Laura, and had wonderful children, Jack and Jake, surrounded by a family that loved him deeply. I think you referred to your grandparents as those of the greatest generation. And I think it's people like that, that's when you truly find, that's how they became who they were. They had people that created within them something deep and with some depth. That's the character they represented every single day. Their natural reaction was to do good versus having to do something different or something else. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that this year, and actually in other years, Randy had been looked at to be sort of the top cop here at Battle Creek Police Department. However, this year, that list, as always, is such a hard list to look at. It's one of my most difficult choices that I have to make, is I look at the list and I see the names, and I'm like, gosh, they're all really good. But you can only pick one. And it wasn't that this happens to be your retirement year, but it also is so remarkable as to why I didn't see his name sooner and more often. But his name was there, and I thought this is such a clear and obvious choice. Randy has demonstrated that even after not just 25 years at Battle Creek PD, but I believe it's close to 30 now, total in law, 32 years in law enforcement. That even in 32 years, he's got the staying power and the character, not just to show us and demonstrate what good police work looks like, but also what good fatherhood and what a good role model he's been to his family and to the rest of us. You've been a good friend, you've been a good mentor, and you've guided many of us to include an entire bureau in the right way. And I want to thank you for that. And so, without any further ado, why don't we welcome our Officer of the Year. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to make it quick. I thought this was happening in the fall, and then Cindy come see me yesterday. So, thank you for this week, especially because we're remembering our fallen brothers and sisters. All right. It's kind of surreal, but I definitely got to thank some people. First and foremost, a wife that puts up with this profession for 20 plus years. It's not easy, but luckily I met the funniest, prettiest, smartest girl 4 years ago, and she said yes, believe it or not. She's graced me with two of the funniest, talented, smart boys that anybody could ask for. And home's one of my happy places. I'd like to be home with my family. It wasn't like that early on. The lounge days, you know, out 3 or 4 times working afternoons. Hey, the gang's going out. So luckily I brought it back in over these last many of years and found what really matters. You did mention my grandparents. Man, I was blessed to have them late in life, and they were that generation forever. And I'm not downplaying my son's generation or anything, but that generation, they were the kindest, sweetest people that went through, both my grandpas through World War II with my grandmas at home raising kids. And they fought for the country, and I thank them all the time. I'm just glad I had them late in life to enjoy hunting, fishing with them. And obviously my grandparents bore my parents, who were 2 of the most amazing human beings in this world. They wanted to be here, but obviously we're recording it. They gave me the best upbringing. I would do it over and over again. My high school years and middle school in Vicksburg was friggin' awesome. They were just, we hunted, we fished, we frogged, we ate eel, we ate octopus, we ate turtle, we ate, and my mom said, you're not leaving the table until you try it. And I'd try some cooked eel and be like, damn, that's pretty good, I'm gonna keep eating it. We ate bugs, crickets, trips to the cabin, it was just a wonderful upbringing. And that's, you know, my grandparents trickled down to my parents. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but the empathy they taught me was first class and made me who I am today. Also, my partner in crime, my brother Greg, my brother Greg, wonderful man. He's a teacher up in Byron Center. He became track coach and won a state championship for the school that hadn't won a state championship in quite some time. First for the track team, just a wonderful man, and had many blessed years growing up with him doing stupid stuff. I'm appreciative of this award, especially being in the Detective Bureau now for 16 plus years. I've worked with a great group of people, but I'm glad I was a part of this award that Dave, the Philly Special, Adams won, Vern Crazy Legs, Brian won, Mr. Beakaleek, Scott Eager won, and Mr. Tyler Low Sodium Sutherland won. And of course, I watched their speeches back then. You know, I find out yesterday, and I'm like, son of a, you know, because when D. Young did his, I'm like, man, that was, I mean, I was just friggin' immersed, and everybody's was just, I guess, eye-opening. Like I said, I didn't write a speech, but I've got my breakdown, so make sure I don't forget anything. All right, grandparents, my family, my brother, my boys. Yeah, it's been a long, strange trip. Back in the late 80s when I started, it was, as Chief said, it was a different world. Obviously with age comes some common sense. I miss those days though, no computers in the car, just out talking with people. You know, one single report to get something done instead of 10. But obviously it's progressed for the better. When they put in cameras in the car, I'm like, what? Now I wouldn't know how to operate anything in the cars because it's been too long. But it's been a great trip. It really has. You guys have been friggin' awesome. D. Young, little tennis. My tennis partner. But each and every one of you, I could go to each one, K-Rock, with our concerts and our good times. A.A. Ron, keeping me grounded as well as it comes back at you when you came into the Bureau. And it was hard for him, but we made it through. But anyway, I could go around to each person and tell stories, but we'd be here for a good hour. I'm very appreciative. I thank my family first and foremost. And nowadays, you gotta find your happy place. My happy place is at home with my family. We're in the west end of DIUP on Old Tower Road. Bob and Jack built it back in 1947, and there has been, God, has there been some good times up there. Family trips, hunting season, deer season, fishing season, going up to the Porcupine Mountains, hitting our beach spot for our beach glass. I mean, it's just, I get up there, and it's the best place on earth besides home. But I just ask all of you to take care of your loved ones. I call my mom and dad every day now. Usually it was like once a week I'd check in, maybe every other week. And just talking to them on the phone every day, I realize how much just talking to them every day is giving me. And I know people of that age are probably, they're thinking, oh my God, this could be one of the last couple times I see my loved ones. They feel trapped. Obviously, I tell them, I said, just stay home. I'll bring you whatever you want. I'll wipe it down, leave it on your back porch. But just take care of your loved ones, take care of your families. Enjoy being home. Enjoy finding your happy place where you can go and let this job get out of your head, because it'll eat you away. And everybody here knows that. We see things we shouldn't see. We deal with people I wish we didn't have to deal with. But we're here for the other side of that, and that's the victims. So every call you take, let that victim or that person calling realize about me and my complaint. That's all he's worried about. Phone calls back. If they leave a message, call them back as quick as you can. But just remember the victims. I know we deal with the other side of it, and the victims in our community first, and just make them feel like you actually really care. And I remember back in the day, I'd have a bad day and go back to the same house for the 4th time and be like, you know, ready to lose my brain. But after the years, I'm like, you know what, for that moment, let's see if we can fix them long term and I don't have to come back. But it's been an amazing 25 years, or just about 25 years. I greatly appreciate this honor. During a week where we're thinking about Vern, we're thinking about Dave, we're thinking about the other brothers and sisters we've lost. So I am very humbled and appreciate it very much. Oh, God, I'm so All right, Dougie B. Betts, not in the house. Dougie B., 2 in a row. 3 this year. All right, guys, I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Laura, for coming down. I was going to have the boys come down, but they were doing their schoolwork, so we can show them this after the fact, but love to them as well. Let's call it. I appreciate it very much, guys and ladies. Thank you.